So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Throwing, Dalton. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And, he coughed it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolded.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
As I watch that play unfold, stereotypes are being broken left and right. As a corner, you're often back there guarding against the pass. But how about that diagnosis and read and getting into the backfield and making a nice play and a tackle?
And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he comes back with one complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when a screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over. But he ended up finding another receiver.
He'll drop to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this one's incomplete. And the Bengals starting defensive unit now.
The competition to go to the Pro Bowl at safety is fierce in the NFL, but Rashad Jones makes his case year in and year out as one who should go.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
1st and 10 for Dalton. Drops it underneath to Dixon. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. And now the starting defense for the Browns.
Joe Hayden is a complete cornerback. He tackles, he covers, and does everything with incredible speed.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Dalton throwing on second down. Over the middle to Beckham. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Caught left side, it's Beckham. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who could turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Andy Dalton, he's got the hook up with Conley. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. So the offense needing 4 yards. It's 3rd down. Third down from the gun. Dalton, and able to find Conley. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handing it to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Now Dalton. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Very tough spot here for the offense to start. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. One receiver left, 3 to the right. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
The first down screen pass, good for 5.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Bengals grab it. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Let's see what Dalton can do after the fumble recovery. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And they went big on 1st down. Proves unfruitful.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Over the middle to Beckham, and he's brought down. 18 yards on the pickup there, and it'll give the Bengals a 1st down.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him. And those 1st downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. This will be Dalton again. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And some room to work. And he'll get this back across the midfield stripe and down to the 47-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And this is a spot late in the clock near midfield, though. Maybe take a couple chances, see if you get in field goal range. You do that if you have trust. And this should be a position now where the great ones, they relish this opportunity to try and put points on the board.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll come out in the pistol. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. play fake here on first down. Deep drop. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and
now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And this has no chance. It's no good, well wide to the left. So some disappointment there as the field goal falls short, and we have reached the intermission. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This one taken just inside the 10. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. There are 0 points on the scoreboard for either side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made. The defenses have obviously been great.
So if you like defense, this is a classic game. This is what you're looking for. But now you're trying to figure out how to gain any type of an advantage on offense. Is it through a big chunk play that they haven't seen before? Or is it just running your regular offense and running it better, trying to create an opportunity?
We'll see which avenue they choose to go down. They go play action here on first down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be second down. Just 2 yards to go here on second down for the offense. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. Now a handoff as they run left side. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And that's a good sign right there as we start the third quarter. Because in the first half, not much space to run the football. And as we go into the half, we often think to ourselves, all right, what's the adjustment? What do they have to do? You know what a lot of the adjustments are? No adjustments. You know the game plan. Been working on it all week. Maybe a little tweak here or there, a little bit better blocking, and now you're establishing the running game.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a third down and 6. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it, and that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
He'll look to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
onside kick here as they'll try to cover this one. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. And it's incomplete. The tight end, C.J. Uzama, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Passing again, Dalton on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Another chance for Dalton. And the grab by Croft. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it. In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks.
And he will take it all in for a Bengals touchdown. Chris Conley, his second touchdown on the season, and the Bengals are in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This one fielded at the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play. So it'll be first down here after the run.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, and that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And now here's a carry heading left. And that formation won't yield much here as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. Going right side here, and that's complete. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Again, we'll see the pistol here.
All right, now look at 56. Look at 56. Good.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So a designed run last play. Now Dalton to pass. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And that'll make it 3rd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. Over the middle to Beckham. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So a big one there as that gives him a little cushion.
And you know, here in the 4th quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Throwing left side, it's complete. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. So the D-line's going to spread out.
Here we go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's got his man on the out route. It's a gain of 24 that time. And it's good enough for a Cleveland 1st down.
As a former defender, Brandon, the goal was always to tackle the receiver immediately after the catch. When you missed and gave up additional yardage, you didn't make anyone on your team happy. That's why I'm sitting here next to you.
Finding time. Wide open receiver complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. It's second down. Dalton looking. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
To throw here, Dalton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Here's Sam Martin now, standing right on his own 5-yard line.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And here are the Browns now as the offense comes back out onto the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some.
Here we go now.
And the back goes into motion. Back to throw now on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. He dropped an 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And they're going to go soft on the corners. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get the third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it's a second down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. And now they're in the hurry-up. Out of the gun now on third down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
On second down, it's Dixon. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Dalton wants to throw. It's caught by OBJ. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. Here's Sam Martin now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They'll look to throw here. And he's got his man on the comebacker. Give him 18 on that one. And that'll be good for a Cleveland first. They're going to hurry back to the line now. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Here we go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to go out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
It's always interesting to watch a player fight his own instincts because when you're a ball carrier, you're taught to fight for every inch, every yard. But in this situation, the smart play was to get out of bounds, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll drop the throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. And, Charles, in this situation, this is where the word miracle comes into play.
Have to score real fast, maybe throw a jump ball in the end zone and hope for the best.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage, look defensively. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 15 yards through the air on a first down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry up. Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down.
And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Shotgun. He'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
Now this will be the 9th play on this drive.
All right, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown, but probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Another pistol look here.
Here we go now. Boom, land it. Boom, back down in Philly. Here we go.
They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. Not running. Dalton wants to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?